is 7:02.
17 minutes past 7 o'clock. And this is the situation. This is our big interview this morning. The Department of Social Development has been making news headlines for the wrong reasons. First, it was revealed that the department reportedly spent 1 million rand of taxpayers' money on a trip to New York for social worker Sizakele Mangangwe. She was just one member of a government delegation visiting New York for the UN Commission on the Status of Women. Then it emerged, though, through the Sunday Times, that the entire trip actually cost 3 million rand of taxpayers' money. The delegation stayed at one of Manhattan's priciest hotels for more than 2 weeks. Almost 200,000 rand, according to the Sunday Times, was apparently spent on a single flight. So what we did is we lined up yesterday the Director General of the Department of Social Development, Peter Netshipale, to talk about this. He did indicate that he would come onto the show. I thought to myself, and I'll be honest with you, 702 Land, I thought, you're going to come onto the show and you're going to talk about these allegations. And I thought to myself, well, that's very big because there's lots to talk about here as well. There has been Lumka Oliphant, who is also now being suspended. She's their chief communications person. She's been suspended because there have been allegations and stories in the background that it was her who spoke to the Sunday Times. The department is saying, no. We've suspended her because of questions about a report from the Auditor General. So we did then, we said to the DG, come on to 702 and talk to us about this. Talk to us about what's going on. He said he would. Now he's not answering his phone. So, DG, you've got until at least another half an hour. We'll give you all the time in the world to answer your phone, to talk about this 3 million rand that was spent of our taxpayers' money for this trip that took this delegation to New York City. I'm not saying that the conference wasn't very important whatsoever, but I'm saying 3 million rand. Why were people staying at hotels in Manhattan? Those are those top hotels. Why it was 200,000 rand spent on a single flight? And why, most importantly this morning, DG Peter Netshipale, are you not answering your phone after we agreed to speak to you? Somebody who is answering her phone, though, is the Suspended Communications Director General, Lumka Oliphant. Lumka, good morning. Good to have you on 702.
Good morning to you and to the 702 listeners.
Right, you heard my intro. The DG's not answering his phone, despite giving us indication he would. You have been suspended. What explanation has been given to you, Lumka, as to why you have been suspended?
I've been suspended, according to the letter, for some Auditor General findings on the time that I was acting as acting DDG Corporate Support Services. And the second one is that I've been suspended because they suspect that something happened with the OTT platform that I developed for the department as a way of trying to alleviate more cost on communication. And I think you guys know that buying airtime is not a child's play. It's a lot of money. And just to make sure that we have a memory repository for the work that the department is doing and document that work. So they are saying that also they want to look at that. And but I'm waiting for them to go to the portfolio committee next week because the Auditor General will be there, and they would also table, the findings of the Auditor General, and I can tell you now, in the Auditor General report, there is not a single word that talks about an acting DDG that must be fired, must be suspended, or must do any audit plan. Very clear. So without delving into that, you will have to wait for the Auditor General to make those public, and the portfolio committee when they need to go and speak to South Africans and account for the books of the department. But what I'll say is that if we are qualified by the Auditor General, the DG should not be in his chair. CEO should not be in his chair. Every executive in the Department of Social Development should not be sitting in their chair.
Yeah.
Because each and every one of them, there is a finding by the Auditor General.
But surely, if you are suspended, they should say A, B, and C. These are the findings, not you will find out in Parliament a while later. This doesn't make sense.
So they said that if you got the media statement yesterday, they said that they were going to have a panel of investigators, and they've given the panel of investigators 60 days to finish the work in investigating me, while I must be suspended. There's a media statement they sent out. I'm surprised that he said to you that he was going to come and speak to you, because in that media statement they are saying that they will not entertain anything from the media.
It's interesting because I did get that media statement yesterday, and I actually asked our producers the question. I said, is he going to speak to us? And they said, I don't know, Ray, this is what it says, but let's ask him. And then he gave us that undertaking. So it is very interesting, but I'd like to know from you as well, your relationship now, Lumka, with the minister and also with the DG. I mean, there's a quote where you said something about the minister that she doesn't have a matric, and that you called her into question. Your relationship now with the minister and the DG, can you continue in your position?
I will not be pushed, Ray, out of the department unfairly. That's the one thing that I know, and I will defend my name because I only have my name. And whatever they are planning to do, I will defend it because I've got the facts, I've got the documentation, I've got everything with me. And more than anything, I have served each and every minister that came to the department, despite every other politics that have been there. But I have to say that it has been coming, and I think I have not been surprised about what has happened. I would sit, Ray, in meetings where my work and the work of my team would be ridiculed. We would be stripped of our dignity in meetings, and I would have to sit and listen to everything that is being said about us. And I think now they have pushed me very far. It is not the first time, Ray, as well, that I've been accused of leaking information to the media. When the North Gauteng High Court released a judgment on the 350 SRD, and it said that the administration of it was unfair. I was called into the meeting where we were going to discuss the appeal of that judgment. When I walked into that meeting, we realized that the presentation that was to be shared by everyone for information sharing, so that as well, if there are any communication implications, I can be able to advise. That presentation was not shared in hard copy. One of the executives then asked, why are we not having this presentation in hard copy? One of the executives said that because some of us are going to leak the information to the media. Gosh. I directly asked them if they were talking to me. They said, yes, Lumka. I then left that meeting without even excusing myself because I felt I was not needed there. So this thing has been happening, but I have been quiet. I have been trying to make sure that I keep the decorum, the respect. I have been trying to make sure that I continue with my work because I was not appointed. I'm not a employee of any political party in that department. I got the job on merit, so they will have to follow through all the things that need to be done under the Labor Relations Act. If they want to take me on, I will also not lie down, Ray, and that they must know. So they know where they are because when the Sunday Times sent questions, I have WhatsApp messages from the DG asking me how did they get the information. For me, it was laughable because I know Jill Gifford. I used to work with Jill Gifford at the Star. She doesn't take any story down. So I then said to them, the information that these guys have, I don't think that they have everything. But when we replied, Ray, we replied with specifics. They gave the information to the Sunday Times willingly. The Sunday Times did not know where they slept, what airline they used. The Sunday Times did not know exactly the parliamentary question that contained this information.
They gave it. They gave it willingly. They gave it.
They gave it because if you look at Jill Gifford, I'm sure if you invite her, she will tell you they were very thorough. They gave it to her against also my dissatisfaction that I had said to them that if you are going to do this way, I am sure you guys are not going to have a good Sunday, because when things come to the department, I am the one who must be in the firing line. You guys are going to ask me all the questions, but they said that must go as it is. But I think there's another story that you are missing out as the media. Yeah. There was a story as well that was ran by the City Press on the same week. And there were two stories. And remember that I used to work for the City Press. Yeah. So anything that comes from the City Press, I'm always the first suspect, because everybody thinks that I would give information to the City Press. Ray, I will not erase my history. This is my career. I worked at the Star. I worked at the City Press. All the people that are in different newsrooms, they were either at school with me, my former bosses, or even my friends, because we are in the same circle. These are the people that I know. Yeah. These are the people that I went to school with. But we have a decorum of how we deal with each other, because we are on different sides and we are enemies. We're not enemies. Yeah. We are, yes. And as well, we do not just give information. They know. They respect the things that I do.
Lumka, I want to put it out there. 3 million rand on a single journey for a delegation. Is that amount correct?
The DG is out on Metro FM, on SABC, on Newsroom Africa, saying it is correct. This is public information. This is in Parliament as part of a parliamentary question. No Lumka is giving anyone information. This is information that is in the public domain, given by the Department of Social Development.
Sure. Lumka Oliphant, thank you so much. Suspended Chief Director of Communications at the Department of Social Development. We have given every opportunity to the Director General, Peter Netshipale, to speak to us on 702 Breakfast this morning. Director General, the ball is in your court.
Current events, developing stories,
tough questions,
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.